my beautiful bookish friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing the state of my 2020 TBR and my April TBR. So I have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. I told you guys back in January and February about all the books I wanted to read in 2020. I had like a kind of a set TBR. And I didn't really get through it in January. I kind of strayed from it and veered off, and then in February I got through a little bit of it and then I didn't, and then Contemporary-a-thon happened and I didn't get through all the books for that, so it just kind of kept growing and then diminishing, and then I'd add different books to keep it interesting, and then I'd read those but not the other ones I wanted to read. So I decided it was time to just rework the whole thing, take everything out, put it back on the shelf, and start from scratch. So that is what I did. There are some books that I started, and I will talk about those here briefly just because I've talked about them in my other videos, which are always linked either up above or down below on a playlist. But anyway, I'm gonna ramble. I can already feel it. I wanted to do like a fresh new TBR with stuff that I've been really wanting to read but I've been holding off on because of the other books that I wanted to read, but there's no time like the present, and right now it feels like we just all need a fresh, clean start to the year, so that's what we're doing. So let's talk about the books I have already started. I have started The Vanishing Stair, which I have been anticipating for so long, and I finally had my hands on it, and I was putting off reading it for some reason because I wasn't in a thriller mood, and then I started reading it and now I'm like right back in that mood. I'm 114 pages in. I just don't think I'm gonna finish this by the end of March when I'm filming this, so this is definitely gonna get finished in April. I want to finish it. I want to put it next to Truly Devious over here so I can have my little collection all set up. So there is that. I am hoping to read this. This one is just the second novel in the Truly Devious case. It's all about Stevie and trying to figure out the Ellingham murder. There is a little bit of recap in it, so if you haven't read Truly Devious in a while, you don't really need to reread it. There's quite a bit of recap, but not too much. It's spread out really nice, but you find out more about people who were involved in the murders back then, allegedly, or potentially, I guess I should say. More clues are found, and you're finding out what happened at the end, because they did leave you on a big cliffhanger at the end of Truly Devious. So questions are answered right away, but you obviously have more questions, I have a feeling, by the end of this, until you get to the next book, which is the last one. So I'm excited to read this and finally, you know, have it done. The next book I want to finish in April is Kingdom Keepers 7. I've talked about this at length in several videos, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I am 53 pages into this, so 8 chapters I've finished. It is a thick book, so this is probably where I will dive into after Vanishing Stair. I have realized I am not a person who can read 2 books at once. There are a lot of people who can read more than 1 book at a time. I cannot do it, so I'm going to be devoting like one day to one thing and, you know, busting it out. I am working a different job right now, so I do have to be up really early, so that's been kind of like weird getting used to, but I'm hoping to take this week and read when I can, so I can get through these and just put them back on the shelf so I can get through a whole TBR. The next one I want to finish in Hungry Hearts, which is an anthology. I read the entire first story, which was 19 pages, and I would like to get through the rest of it. It's not a thick book is the thing. It's only like 352 pages, I think, so it's not extremely long, and they're all individual stories, which is nice. This is one that I would say I can probably read while reading something else. Like if I'm reading The Vanishing Stair and want to take a break from that just to process, I could read one story out of here and you know, pause on this since it is an anthology. They're all different stories. So yeah, this is kind of my like in between. I don't really have a whole lot of time to read, but maybe just 20 or 30 pages I can read this. So now let's talk about the fresh books I have on here. One of them did remain from the last couple TBRs, or last TBR, and that is Witch, book number 3. These are just short little middle grades I've been reading because they've been on my shelf forever, and I just want to get through them and get them over with because they are really short and easy kind of reprieve reads. I can read these in a day. It's like 130 pages, but there's comic book inserts and like big text, so not a challenging read, but an easy one to get through. So I want to get through the 4 that I have, and I will probably unhaul them, but that is another video. But I would like to read through them, get through them, and then just not have them like hanging over my head. So I really want to get through these since I am out of Geronimo Stilton's that go in chronological order right now. That is my little, I'm in a slump, I need a quick read, hey, I finished a book, let's read another sort of thing. Then we have 3 books that I have been putting off and putting off and putting off, and I'm so excited about them, it's not even funny. So we have Love Her or Lose Her, which is a contemporary romance. You guys know I loved Fix Her Up. If you watched, it was like my favorite book of 2019. This is the spin-off with Rosie and Dominic, and I really liked their characters in Fix Her Up. They were like little side characters, and it's about Rosie and Dominic, who are high school sweethearts. Dominic was in the Marines, and now he has a lot of PTSD, and he's worried that he's gonna lose Rosie because she leaves him. She says, I'm leaving because we don't talk anymore, everything is scheduled, everything is, you know, it's not like, I feel like we're losing our love for each other. So they decide they're gonna do like marriage boot camp together. So I'm interested to see what that means. They just want to, you know, put their lives back together, put their love back together, but I guess Dominic has a secret, and I'm wondering if it's based on the PTSD element. I don't know. This book is a little relatable to me just because I married my high school sweetheart, he's in the military, he does not have PTSD, but there's like some elements I can relate to, so I'm very interested, and I feel like I'm gonna read this in a whole day. Plus I haven't read a contemporary romance since Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and I am in need because I'm really enjoying this genre more than I thought I ever would. Then we have the book I've been putting off because I don't want the series to end, The Shadow Glass. This is my big, giant, like, oh, this one's actually not over 500 pages. She's gonna wrap it up in less than 500 pages. Rin Chapoco, you have my attention as you always do. The Shadow Glass is just the last book in the Bone Witch trilogy, which has become my favorite fantasy series, and I'm not ready for it to end, but I am ready to reread the series and annotate because that is a goal for this summer. So I am gonna give her a go. I'm gonna read her. I'm ready. I'm so interested to see where this goes. I don't want to give too much away about this book just because I encourage everyone to read The Bone Witch. And you really need to read the other books for me not to give it away, but this is all about dark magic, witchy goodness, but in a setting that's just like kind of Game of Thronesy, which I did not enjoy, so I'm surprised I like this. But there's just so much depth, and the characters are so solid, so good. And now that I know like the language kind of used in these books, it's like, it's so easy to read. This one might get read sooner than later, I'm not gonna lie. And the last one is actually, I guess you consider it an anthology. It's 3 brand new Nancy Drew stories. So it's Nancy Drew Files Volume 1, and the cases are Secrets Can Kill, Deadly Intent, and Murder on Ice. So another one that if I want like a mystery, I can read like a third of this book and then say, okay, I want to read The Bone Witch or something. So they are pretty decent. I'm trying to see here how many pages are in each story. It's looking like 130-ish pages per per one, so pretty quick and easy actually, which I guess I did not know when I picked these up. I just love these and hope that they make more. I have volumes 1 and 2, so I'm hoping they do more than that. I feel like they will, just because Nancy Drew is freaking timeless and amazing. Like, everyone knows Nancy Drew. One of them, she goes undercover to look into a series of thefts at her high school, and then someone ends up dead. That is Secrets Can Kill. Deadly Intent, she's investigating a disappearance of a popular guitarist, and her boyfriend is helping her investigate. And then Murder on Ice is a ski resort mystery. So quick, easy, wonderful little stories. So that is it. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. 3 of them I've already started and 1 of them is very short. So I'm hoping this stack will not exist by, I mean, the books will exist, but this stack will not exist by the end of April. I'm really gonna try. I think I can do it with how fast I know I want to read everything. So with that being said, I hope you guys are staying entertained and safe and smart in this very weird time we're living in. And I hope you guys have a good day and get some reading done. It's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania, so I'm hoping that it's nice where you are. At least, you know, let the sunshine in. Get some serotonin flowing. But that is it for me, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Please subscribe and check out my other videos if you are interested down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.